Hi, today is October 30th, 2023, and here are my poems for the day. First one is poem number 1741 for the year, Chapeau sans moi. Ce n'est pas mon chapeau, ce n'est pas très beau, et ce n'est pas mon chapeau. Maintenant, je vais boire de l'eau, mais pas parce que ce n'est pas mon chapeau. Même si ce n'est pas mon chapeau, et c'est pourquoi c'est un chapeau sans moi. Translation: This is not my hat. It is not very beautiful, and it's not my hat. Now I will drink some water, but not because it's not my hat, although it isn't my hat. That is why it is a hat without me. Poem number 1742, Translation. I watched an episode of SNL from earlier this month, and it bummed me out that I didn't understand a lot of it because a lot of it was in Spanish without subtitles. Over the years, I have written a few lines here and there in French, including in the poem whose title is also the title of my forthcoming book, due to be released tomorrow, Moi, sans chapeau, and 181 other poems. There's a lot of French poetry, but every other French poem that has ever been written was written by someone who or something that was not me. And unlike several sketches in that SNL I saw, I provided a translation of my poem, even though I think my French poem is much better in the original. I thought it was important to include a translation. I thought it was the least I could do. And I'm all for me doing the least I could do. Poem number 1743, Not a Slacker. He didn't actually think of himself as a slacker. One time in a radio interview, he was accused of being a slacker, and he nearly threw a chair across the room. That is not true. He only threw a chair that one time when he was tripping in Ithaca. But he doesn't like being called a slacker, even though he sometimes slacks off on things, especially when he gets too sad or when he gets too busy doing all the things he does when he could be slacking off. He is not a slacker. Don't fucking call him a slacker. Poem number 1744. Not a hacker. She didn't actually think of herself as a hacker. One time she accidentally hacked into the system of the bank that she worked at, but that was a complete accident. And as soon as she had discovered what she had done, she reported it to the bank, and they built a better firewall and offered her a job in the cybersecurity department, which she turned down. "I am not a hacker," she said. After her promotion to branch manager, she continued at the bank for another 11 years, and the only hacking she ever did was that one time when she had that dry hacking cough that lasted for about a week. That was in 2017, so it wasn't COVID. But whatever it was, that and the accidental hacking was the only hacking she had ever done. And now she is living a life of leisure in Malta, and will most likely continue to not be a hacker for the remainder of her days. And the last poem of the day, poem number 1745, Malta. After deciding that she had retired to Malta, I read a little bit about the country. In 2017, Charles Radcliffe, the chief of equality and non-discrimination at the United Nations Human Rights Office, praised Malta and its Ministry of Equality as a beacon of human rights for LGBTIQ issues. And I thought, maybe she is lesbian or trans or intersex or queer. Then I read on and learned that Malta has the strictest anti-abortion laws in the entire European Union. And I thought, well, she is retired, so she's probably in her late 50s or older, so she's not going to need an abortion. But then I thought, but maybe she has a daughter or a granddaughter or a trans son who could still get pregnant, and maybe they wouldn't visit her because she lives in Malta. So I decided she doesn't have kids. She is retired in Malta, where she volunteers for an organization that is trying to overturn or at least soften the abortion laws over there. Sometimes she wonders whether it would be helpful to hack into the computer system of the government of Malta, but then she remembers she is not a hacker. And if you knew about all the work she does, even though she's retired, you'd know she's not a slacker either. All right, thank you, and I appreciate you. Thank you.